Looking to buy a house in Cupertino? Well, that's why I'm here right now. So I'm actually in a shopping center called Main Street Cupertino. This is one of the most popular shopping centers in the entire city. So now this has become kind of the de facto center of the city. I know there's a lot of festivals that happen around here. I know the Chinese New Year festival happens on this grass literally every year. So right behind me there's a Phil's coffee shop. So you can see even throughout the day, the whole day, people are just chilling, hanging out, having their coffee, doing their work. But there's a lot of food options here too. I see there's like a chicken wing spot right here. There's Alexander Steakhouse, it's a very upscale steakhouse. Highly Dow's Hot Pot is also right here. There's also like Orange Theory, so you do like your yoga, your F45, that is also out here. So there's a lot of things to do out here. You can see this is a very open space. It's a really great place to walk around. It's very comfortable. It just kind of gives you that more like shopping center, comfortable vibe. So, if you happen to live in Cupertino or you want to visit Cupertino, I would definitely recommend checking out this area right here, Main Street Cupertino. So let's talk about the city of Cupertino. So Cupertino is defined mostly as a bedroom community, meaning that there's not a lot of tourist attractions or really like fun things to do or like landmarks to see. Pretty much people just who live in Cupertino, they just live there just to sleep, and then pretty much they go out through the rest of the day for other stuff, like for work or for fun things to do. The most famous thing about Cupertino is that it's home of Apple. So I'm sure you heard of Apple, right? iPhone, MacBook, So Apple Park, their global headquarters is actually based out in here in Cupertino. It's literally like 100, 200 yards from actually where I'm at right now. So that's pretty cool. So if you work in tech, if you work at Apple, Cupertino is a place that you definitely want to be familiar with. Also, education is a big priority here in Cupertino. The schools here are probably the best in the entire Bay Area. You have Lynbrook High School and Monte Vista High School, which are extremely competitive high schools. I knew a lot of people who grew up going to high school. They're very, very smart, and they generally go off to very, very competitive colleges. Cupertino is also home to 𝐑𝐄𝐋𝐀𝐓𝐄𝐃, which is one of the top community colleges in the entire state. So again, education is a very strong thing here in Cupertino. So the combination of tech jobs and a really good education and a very safe environment, it's no surprise that Cupertino is probably one of the most expensive cities here in the entire Bay Area. So in this video, I'll take you to different neighborhoods in Cupertino to show you homes that just sold, like literally just closed escrow just a few days ago. So you get the most up-to-date real estate market data here in Cupertino. I'll show you neighborhoods and homes that sold below the median sale price in Cupertino, at the median sale price in Cupertino, and way above the median sale price in Cupertino. So you can see all the homes and neighborhoods that Cupertino has to offer. So if you're new to this channel and you want to know everything about living in the Bay Area and Cupertino especially, then subscribe below and tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to know the real estate market here in the Bay Area. My name is Austin, and I get calls and emails every single day from people just like you who are looking to make that move in the Bay Area. So whether you're making that move in 9 days or 9 days, feel free to give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, or make an appointment on the calendar, and I'll promise I'll help you make a smooth move here in the Bay Area. So alright, let's go check out some houses. So for the first house we're going to check out, we're going to drive 10 minutes east of where we just were, Main Street Cupertino, and drive to the Rancho Rinconada neighborhood, and check out this house that just sold. You can see that you can still even see the open house frames that they just took down recently. So this house that just sold, it's a 6-bed, 3-bath, a 2,008 square feet, and it's sold for $2.7 million. So that's about $1,345 per square foot. So that's a lot cheaper than most houses here in Cupertino, and this definitely sold way below the median sales price here in Cupertino. You can see this house is definitely on the older side. It's built around the 1950s. It's very small compared to most houses, only 2,000 square foot. I can see, look at all these houses. I see a bunch of 1-story houses. I see a bunch of 2-story houses as well. So you can get a lot of mix of sizes and heights here in the Rancho Rinconada neighborhood, which is honestly pretty rare you're gonna see, because most cities, they generally don't allow like one house to be 2 stories, one house to be 1 story. But it looks like in this neighborhood they do allow that, so that's just one thing to consider. So you're gonna get a good mix of like really nice houses and really on the older side houses. So that's just one thing also to mention when you check out this neighborhood. I think another reason why this house is on the lower end in terms of sales is because it maps to a lower tier high school. Maps to Cupertino High School. I mean, Cupertino is not a bad high school relative to the Bay Area. It's definitely above average, but relative to other high schools in Cupertino, it's definitely on the lower end. But Cupertino is still an 8 out of 10 on the grade school rating, 9 out of 10 test score. So I mean, you're still going to get a very good education to go to Cupertino High. It's definitely not like something to be ashamed of course. In terms of amenities that this house has, it's close to Lawrence Expressway, which borders Santa Clara. And Lawrence Expressway is a main street that kind of gets you across the South Bay, just kind of up down the middle, up to Sunnyvale, to Saratoga. So you can see in this neighborhood, it's actually more on the busy end because since it's so close to Lawrence Expressway, you can see that even though this like looks like more you would think it's like a very quiet road, there's actually a good amount of traffic. I mean, even just filming this, literally I've been hearing cars just like buzzing by me like really quickly. So that's also one thing to consider when you buy a house in the Rancho Rincon neighborhood. But overall, it still feels very safe. I can see people just walking around, walking their dogs. So again, it's a very nice environment, especially in Cupertino. It's not a bad city at all. So yeah, so let's go check out some other houses. For our next house we're gonna check out, we're gonna drive 10 minutes west where we just were and go to the west side neighborhood and check out this house that just sold right behind me. So this house that sold right behind me, it's a 4-bed, 3-bath, 1,779 square feet. And it sold for $3.56 million, which is about $2,000 price per square foot. So about $3.56 million, that's definitely slightly above the median sales price here in Cupertino. I think the primary reason why this house sold so well is because it's mapped to a really good high school. So the high school that this house is mapped to is Monte Vista High School, which is about a 10 out of 10 in great school ratings, and also 10 out of 10 test scores, obviously. So if you have young kids, you want to get a good education for them, this area is definitely very good because it's going to map you to a very competitive high school that will obviously set your kids well for college and hopefully for the rest of their life. For amenity standpoint, this house is also very close to two main streets here in Cupertino, 𝐑𝐄𝐋𝐀𝐓𝐄𝐃 Boulevard and Stevens Creek Boulevard. Stevens Creek Boulevard is where Apple's located. It's where Main Street, where we earlier in this video, is located. And 𝐑𝐄𝐋𝐀𝐓𝐄𝐃 Boulevard has a lot of restaurants, has a Ranch 99 grocery store, also has a lot of test prep academic enrichment centers. So yeah, when it comes to like getting all the amenities in Cupertino, at this location, you're only like 5-10 minutes away from all of them. So it makes reason why this is such a desirable neighborhood. But overall, yeah, this neighborhood just feels very safe. You can see I'm literally just like walking in the middle of the road here. I know it's a cul-de-sac, so I kind of know it's not going to be too much traffic. But overall, the roads are very wide. Feels incredibly safe and quiet compared to like the previous neighborhood where there's a lot more cars. Here, just like very peaceful and stuff. Feels very safe. So this is definitely a very good neighborhood. All right, with that, let's go check out some other houses. All right, so for our final house, we're gonna drive 10 minutes west where we just were at the west side neighborhood, and then drive up the Santa Cruz Mountains and enter this other neighborhood called the Oak Village neighborhood. It's probably the most expensive neighborhood in the entire city of Cupertino. And this house behind me that just sold, it's a 5-bed, 3-bath, 4,094 square feet. And it sold for $5.4 million, so that's about $1,300 price per square foot. And as you can see, this house looks absolutely beautiful, looks very new. It was built in about 2000, so that's very new compared to most houses here in the city of Cupertino. This area just feels super quiet, it feels super nice. You can see there's a beautiful view up here. I can see the entire city of San Jose from up here. And also, again, from a school mapping standpoint, this school maps to Monte Vista High School as well. So obviously, not only is it a great location, great vibe, you're also going to have access to great education as well. So that's the reason why this is probably one of the most expensive houses in the entire city of Cupertino. But from the amenities standpoint, it is a little further out from the rest of the city, right? Because we drove 10 minutes west. 𝐑𝐄𝐋𝐀𝐓𝐄𝐃 and Stevens Creek was more on the east side of the last house we saw. So obviously, just getting around, it's gonna be a little bit less convenient compared to other stuff. So that's something that you're gonna have to consider if you're gonna buy a house up here. That, yeah, it's beautiful, it's private, but just getting around, it's gonna be a little bit more inconvenient compared to if you bought in another neighborhood here in Cupertino. But overall, again, it feels super quiet, it feels super safe. Like I said, not gonna be walking around here. It's like there's not even a sidewalk here at all. And so that's something that you just have to consider if you're going to move out here. But if you have a big budget and privacy is something that you really want and a lot of space too, Oak Village is definitely your neighborhood here in Cupertino. So hopefully you found this helpful. If you have any more questions regarding real estate in the Bay Area, feel free to contact me. All right, see you soon.